Good morning. Welcome to Module 5. And I hope you're all going to have a great Valentine's Day tomorrow. And I hope it's sunny and warm. I want to talk for just a minute about last week's assignment and what I need to have you do. The field trip went very well. It was fun to see those of you who attended. It's good to interact with you. And it was fun to notice that those of you who came were ones that I've known for a while, and I really appreciate the job that you do. In fact, I really appreciate the job this whole class does. You're really a very good group of students. The reason why we went on a field trip is because sometimes the only way you can really understand is to go and to look. And those of you who went, I think, got the feeling of what David Tafoya does every day. And David Tafoya is like a case manager in his position in charge of the Houston Family Resource Center. And he does an excellent job. And what he does is he meets with clients and works with them to decide what their needs are. And then he uses his networking skills to go to all the agencies within the community to serve South County, all the small communities, with those things that are going to best meet the social needs, the psychological needs that they have. And that requires that he has to get out and meet people and learn who they are and what the job is. Otherwise, he goes out and does it himself. Anyway, it was a very good experience. For those of you who are choosing to do the non-field trip experience, let me just say something. I have not scored your assignments because for the most part, you didn't do a case management plan. What you did was you just wrote a paragraph about what you wanted somebody else to do. And that's not how a case manager operates. You need a team approach when you start looking at working in case management. It isn't all just the case manager. The case manager facilitates what happens with the client and whatever the client's needs are. That person may also be a therapist or someone who works individually with that client, but there's certainly somebody who looks out for the needs of the client. And as you should know by now, who decides what the client needs? The client does. So you have a 19-year-old girl, and you know a lot of things as background about her, but you don't know her. You don't know what she wants, what she thinks she needs, and what's really going to work for her. And you're going to have to see her, meet her, to begin to understand how she best can be worked with. And none of you, well, one of you did, you address that issue at all. So now you need to go back, if you choose to, if you want your points for this anyway. And don't do it as a paragraph. It should be an outline of what you plan to accomplish as a plan working with her. It could be done numerically, step 1, step 2, step 3. But you're going to have to make it a little bit more business-like, if you will, in terms of how you should deal with the individual person. And you might be surprised. Somebody who's homeless may say to you, I like being homeless. I want to live on the street. You know, I'm homeless, but I'm sleeping on a couch with some friend or relative. I'm homeless, but I have a car. So I actually sleep in my car and do what I want then, and I don't want your help on that. But then again, that may not be what their needs are. And there are other agencies that many of you did not even mention. You also didn't mention anything about a needs assessment. You don't know whether there's any money available for her. You have no idea that because she's an adult, because she's 19, what she's eligible or not eligible for. Because the services are different for a child than they are for an adult. And having been a foster child, is she eligible for any services there? Are there services? Yes. But who's the person who should contact to find out if those services are going to be available for her? You give her a phone number and tell her to call? Likely not going to happen. And so you need to go back and rethink what it is you want to do with this person as her case manager. And you've got time on this. There was no deadline on that particular assignment. So go back and redo it, please, if you want to get your units. It's 5% of your grade, and it's a serious assignment. So go back now and take a look at it as a case manager and not just as having to answer a question in a few words on a piece of paper. And put yourself into her place. If you were her, what would your needs be? What if you're not afraid? What if you're kind of a hostile person? What if you're sort of antisocial? Or maybe it's somebody who's shy and quiet and who has absolutely no idea what to do or where to go, and is beside herself and depressed and despondent. Anyway, you need to analyze that before you put down what you are going to do with her. Your plan means nothing. It has to be her plan. So go back, please, and take another look at that. On any assignment, I don't care if you redo them. If you don't like a grade you get, then do it over. And is it closed online? Yeah, but you can email it to me. Just be sure you put your name on it. Be sure you tell me which module it is and why you decided you wanted to change. And that's true on the domain questions. I want you to understand what they are and what they aren't. You know, what is the best answer? Why is it the best answer? And it's not that the other answers may not be okay. It's just that why aren't they as good as the answer that you think is the best? So do you want to change those? I don't care. I'll grade them if you send them to me. There is another event coming up on March the 7th, which is the video Nobody's Child. And I've already told you Amazon has it, I think, for as cheap as $2.99. So if you want to get a copy of it. The assignment will have a specific format that you're going to do. If you attend at 5 o'clock on March the 7th, the presentation of the video, then you will get to do the assignment there and turn it in then. Otherwise, you're on your own to do the assignment and to fill out the sheet of questions and turn it in. When you put the answers online on Blackboard, it would be good if you use an RTF format and just submit it. You can submit it then as a cut and paste if you want to, or you can just type it on Blackboard, but don't send it to me as an attachment. I think that's about all. Let me look here. Did I have anything else? Just briefly, the cost of mental illness. Who should pay for people who are mentally ill? It's a crucial question, particularly with the last school shooting, the major school shooting. Who should pay for the mental health? Who should have paid for that young man who was having difficulties? Is it the families of those people who should pay for it? Or is it society who should have to pay for it? Why did we close all the state hospitals in California and most of the United States? And why does that force people into becoming felons and going to prison for who they are, or cause them to have to go and live on the street? Who should actually have to pay the bill? Whose responsibility is it? So that one is a pretty serious discussion. Since the school shooting, there is a big push for more mental health money. But from what I hear, people are trying to eliminate those expenses, not add them. Anyway, take another look at that too. You don't have to re-answer the question, but just, consider that one. Anyway, have a great week and a great Valentine's Day, and thanks for being patient with me. And give me a call if you have any questions.